throwing away your smartphone is probably not a realistic idea. And I think you were asking in the end, what other practical exercises
like
are there?
What kind of 3 steps or 30 minutes routine, or would you suggest to like a normal person who is also working and cannot commit a full day or so to empty his mind and to get to a state of Zen? I mean, I know there are a lot of books out there which I haven't read, but like Zen in the art of cleaning the motorbikes and in the art of cleaning the room or so, and maybe it's about what is it about? Like to organize the mind in a way that you feel that kind of peace. Or so we are kind of struggling to clean up the room, to clean up, organize our mind. But if we just because we don't know, basically, we don't get taught that in school. We are just like thrown out in life, and we got teach math and English or science, but nobody explains us about how our mind is working. And another thought I had to like when you think about empty mind or full mind, that mind is also such a strong tool. Like you can use thoughts or imagination. They're so powerful if you know how to use it. I heard like a nice picture is to picture mind like as a knife, and people who don't know how to use the knife, they will hurt themselves. So, and then, but someone has to teach you how to use it, and then it's super useful. But if you don't know, then you end up always hurting yourself. So you need to organize it to kind of clean up the mind room, and then you may feel that peace or that freedom because you know where everything is. You can use things, and so how would you even start to, I mean, you need willpower, you need to know how to do it, like how do I organize my thoughts? So do you have...
First, a technical question, is the computer still recording? It's recording, okay.
So
okay, good.
Yes, it's recording.
Yeah. There are all these books like 3 Steps to Happiness, 5 Steps to Calm Your Mind, 12 Steps, and finally you will realize Nirvana. And Zen doesn't have these steps. There's maybe that one step, sit down. You don't have to sit for an hour. If you don't have that hour, you can, 5 minutes is okay to start with. 10 minutes, just sit and don't do anything. Just sit and see what happens. If you can, take care of your posture, so then you sit in the traditional posture, allow your breath to come and go naturally, but that's all you do. And whenever your mind floats off and you realize, oh, I'm not here anymore, I've been thinking, you bring it back to the posture, to the breath. But that's basically all. And if somebody says, but I don't want to sit, then you could say, well, you don't even need that step. When you cook, be completely in the cooking. When you take a walk outside, be in the walk. When you work, completely be absorbed in your work. I see a problem with this approach, like for example, one example would be Marie Kondo and minimalism. So basically you have all these books that tell you buy this book and will help you to throw out all that stuff that you don't need anymore. And if it doesn't work with that first book, then there's a second book and the third book. And half a year later, you realize I have all these books on my shelf that tell me how to get organized, but I even have more garbage.
That's, basically true.
So that's this kind of... the internet, even YouTube, everything on the internet tells you, you need this, you need this, you need this. Follow these steps. And then basically is forget about what people tell you what to do or what you need, but ask yourself, what do I need? What do I really want? Do I really need the next Marie Kondo book? Do I really want to have another 12-step model? And this practice of sitting is to get rid of this kind of mindset. I want to have, for example, empty mind, empty mind, empty mind. Or in Zen we have this word satori, I want to get enlightened. But exactly that thought keeps you from being completely settled in the moment. And that's what it's all about. So you don't need 12 steps, you don't need 3 steps, you don't maybe even need this one step. Just forget about following a step, just sit and see what happens. Enjoy these 5 minutes, 10 minutes that are good for nothing. That's a question that people often ask me and others. What is a Zen good for? And the traditional answer in the school where I trained is Zen is good for nothing. And then people are surprised. Well, then why do you do it? That's not what people tell you on the internet. Like, nobody recommends a method that's good for nothing. Even Marie Kondo tries to sell by your bookshelf will look more empty if only my books are there. But the point of saying it's good for nothing is to get you out of this mindset. I want this, I want that. So there's no 3-step model, there's no 5-step model. Forget about it and ask yourself, what do you really want? What are you really missing in your life? And maybe at one point you get to the conclusion, well, actually, I have everything I could wish for. Actually, there was never anything missing. It was just that people were telling me all the time, you need to do this, boy, you need to do that, boy, you need a career, you need a house, you need a family, you need Marie Kondo to get the house empty again. Maybe you should divorce and get a new wife and whatever. Maybe you should move to Japan, or you should move out of Japan, whatever. Why don't you just sit for a while and quiet down?
That inspires me for a blog post like the 0 step to empty mind, which is something new because everyone is talking about some like 3, 5, 7 steps to something. Yeah, that's very interesting. And I thought you mentioned like connect to yourself, like just take the time to recognize yourself. But I think that's also something a lot of people are struggling with, because we get so disconnected. Our thoughts are so powerful to disconnect us from our physical being, from when we don't feel our needs anymore. And as you said, when we become still and we may recognize how many things we already have, or how secure we are already living, or then we may recognize that we could basically be happy so suddenly. But our mind is just trained to always spot the weak parts or so.
Yes,
so your video will finish. Thank you for watching.